Civil War, yeah. 1861.
The war between the states began on April 12th and it lasted 5 years. There were lots of causes that led to this turning point. Daniel Webster knew it was gonna happen soon. There were 3 big steps that led to the Civil War. The first one was the abolitionist movement. This was an effort to end slavery. It was a belief that all men are equal. A famous abolitionist was Frederick Douglass. Used to be a slave, but he daringly escaped. The Underground Railroad led slaves to freedom. Abolitionists demanded a lot more things, though. Slave owners feel the division of the North and South.
All these things are the reasons that the Civil War began between the North and South. Daniel Webster predicted this. The South sought to establish itself as a separate nation, yeah. All these things are the reasons that the Civil War began between the North and South. Daniel Webster predicted this. The South sought to establish itself as a separate nation, yeah.
The Missouri Compromise of 1820 was when Missouri applied for statehood. The Union refused to allow another state to join. Missouri had to abolish slavery. First, the South thought the U.S. could not afford this. The North thought slavery was very evil. Maine applied for statehood and became the 23rd state. MI became a slave state after 3630. The Missouri Compromise was successful. There were still problems with slavery. This led to a big reason for the Civil War.
All these things are the reasons that the Civil War began between the North and South. Daniel Webster predicted this. The South sought to establish itself as a separate nation, yeah. All these things are the reasons that the Civil War began between the North and South. Daniel Webster predicted this. The South sought to establish itself as a separate nation, yeah.
And the final reason is, drafted by a Whig Senator Henry Clay, this is the No Compromise of 1850. It was proposed because Cali and Texas annexed. Cali was fought over as a free or slave state. The compromise stated 4 things though. To support the North, Cali was a free state. Also, slavery was abolished in B.C. To support the South was the fugitive slave law. Stated slaves had to be returned to their owner. Was used to appease Southern slaveholders. The last part of the compromise helped the South, gave popular salve to New Mexico and Utah.
All these things are the reasons that the Civil War began between the North and South. Daniel Webster predicted this. The South sought to establish itself as a separate nation, yeah. All these things are the reasons that the Civil War began between the North and South. Daniel Webster predicted this. The South sought to establish itself as a separate nation, yeah.
The solutions of this were only temporary.
The coming years, our country became more divided.
North felt the compromise favored the South.
The compromise led to violence and eventually the war.
That's all for Ashley Bruno Productions.
Put your video where your mouth is.
Put up or shut up.